This is the ROVSUN 110V portable clothes dryer. I've had this for a bit now, and a few people asked me about it, so here's my take. I got this dryer because I needed something that would work in a small space. I didn't have room for a regular full-size dryer, and I also didn't want to install a 220-volt outlet. This one plugs into a standard 110-volt grounded wall outlet, so getting power to it was simple. The dryer is compact, but it's not tiny. It measures about 19.5 inches wide, 16.5 inches deep, and 24 inches tall. It weighs around 37 pounds. I could move it without much trouble, though it was easier to position with another person helping. I placed mine off the floor. That made the door easier to reach and made cleaning the filter more convenient. It can sit on a countertop or a sturdy rack. Wall mounting is also possible with the included hardware. If I kept it on the floor, I would have to bend down every time I loaded or unloaded it. Setup was mostly easy, but the exhaust needs some planning. This dryer pushes out warm, moist air, so it needs proper ventilation. I ran the exhaust toward a nearby window. I would not use it in a closed room without dealing with that air. The room can get warm and humid pretty quickly. The inside drum is stainless steel and has 1.5 cubic feet of space. The listed maximum wet load is 10 pounds, but I don't treat that as a normal load. Around 5 to 5.5 pounds works much better for me. The clothes have more room to move, and the drying time is more reasonable. A typical load for me is a few shirts, some socks, underwear, and lightweight pants. I can also dry a couple of bath towels, but thick towels take longer. Sheets fit if I keep the load small. Large blankets and bulky bedding are not a good match for this machine. Loading it too full makes a noticeable difference. The clothes stay packed together, airflow drops, and I may need to run more time. I got better results once I stopped trying to fit an entire large washer load inside. This works better when I think of it as a small load dryer. The control knob is simple. I don't have to work through menus or learn several settings. There are hot, cool, and air-dry time ranges. I usually use the hot setting for regular clothes. The longer settings run between about 120 and 200 minutes, depending on where I turn the knob. Drying does take longer than it does in a full-size 220-volt dryer. That was one of my concerns before using it. With an 850-watt heating system, I expected slower drying, and that is what I got. A small, well-spun load can come out dry and warm, but heavier items may need more time. The spin cycle on the washer matters too. If the clothes go into this dryer very wet, the cycle takes much longer. I use the highest suitable spin setting on my washer before moving the clothes over. That simple step helps more than trying to add extra heat or pack fewer minutes into the timer. I like that the drum changes direction during operation. The forward and reverse movement helps keep shirts and smaller items from becoming one tight bundle. Clothes can still wrinkle if I leave them sitting after the cycle, but tangling has been less of a problem than it was with another small dryer I used. The noise level is manageable. It makes the normal sound of a rotating drum and moving air, but it does not sound like a laundromat dryer. The listed noise level is around 65 decibels. I can hear in the room, but I can still watch something or have a conversation nearby. The door has a dark viewing window, so I can see whether the clothes are moving normally. Opening the door stops the machine automatically. I've used that when I wanted to remove a dry item or check a thicker towel. I still wait for the drum to stop before reaching inside. The lint filter needs regular attention. I clean it after each load because lint builds up faster than I expected in a small machine. When the filter gets covered, airflow becomes weaker and drying takes longer. Cleaning it only takes a few minutes, and it helps the dryer run more consistently. After using it for a while, the main convenience is having a dryer where a regular unit would not fit. I don't have to carry every small load somewhere else. I can wash and dry basic daily clothes at home. For one person or possibly two people doing frequent small loads, the capacity is workable. Compared with other compact dryers I've seen, this one feels similar in speed and load size. The 110-volt connection makes installation easier, but it also limits heating power. I would not compare its speed to a full-size dryer. I see it as a different type of appliance for a different space. The biggest downside for me is the cycle length. I have to plan ahead instead of expecting a load to finish quickly. The small drum is another limitation. If I save up several days of laundry, I need to split it into separate loads. Ventilation is also something I would sort out before buying. A nearby window makes things easier. An indoor vent filter may be an option in some situations, but it still releases heat and some moisture into the room. I prefer sending the exhaust outside. I was also concerned about electricity use. It draws 850 watts while operating, and the longer cycles add up. I have not noticed a surprising change for my normal use, but the actual cost depends on local electricity rates and how often it runs. I avoid running it longer than needed. This dryer makes sense for an apartment, dorm, RV, hotel room, or other small living space where a standard dryer is not practical. It also makes sense for someone who washes smaller loads often. I would not choose it for a large family, heavy bedding, or anyone who needs several full loads dried quickly. My experience has been steady as long as I keep the load small, vent it properly, and clean the lint filter. It does what I expected from a compact 110-volt dryer. It is slower than a regular machine, but it saves me trips for basic laundry. If your needs are similar, I think it is worth considering. Just be realistic about the capacity and drying time. If there's something I didn't cover, leave a question in the comments. Please check the comment section for detailed information about the ROVSUN 110V portable clothes dryer. Thank you for watching.